Chris, if I'm like this, I'm gonna go here, and you're sitting right there. I'm gonna put it like this, and I were to hammer down on that stick, what's gonna happen?
It's gonna come flat in my face.
Right. So if you were gonna hammer down on that stick and we wanted to break it right here, what would I need to do?
Hammer it on both sides.
Okay, or hold it on one end, right?
Yes.
Because to the degree that I'm holding this end and you start to push that one down, if I'm weak here, but if I'm holding this with at least as much force as you push that down, then we can break it here, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the thing about foot locks. Okay, so everybody thinks like if this is the guy's foot and I'm attacking the foot lock, people focus a lot on the entry, they focus a lot on the grip and all the stuff that's going on down here, but this other end of the stick is free to move and travel about. And if this other person has any idea what they're doing, they're gonna counter your foot lock easy. So I'd rather you have one foot lock that you're really, really good at, and what determines being really, really good? Well, controlling the position, which means controlling their hip with your feet. So people who are really, really good at foot locks, by definition, are really, really good at controlling the other end of the stick. They're good at controlling the other guy's body, in particular his hips, with their legs. And then what you're doing is you're isolating one limb with two. So I've got Liam's leg or Chris's leg. I've got one leg and I've got my two legs and my arms against that one limb. And all they've got is that leg, right? Because they can't get any closer to me, they can't move. And that's what defines a good foot lock. I'm gonna show a basic foot lock. I'm gonna play a game that I used to do many years ago. So I'm gonna give him a foot and I'm gonna take a foot, okay? So you can grab my foot. Okay. And I'm not gonna give him too much instruction right now other than to say, grab with kind of a guillotine grip, right? So I'm kind of just above his heel and I have a good guillotine grip. And what we'll do is we'll do a race from here, right? So when I say go, you can slowly try and put that foot lock on my foot, okay? Go. Good. So that's a cheating game that we can do over and over again. But here's the thing that's completely relieving the pressure, even if Liam goes fast, is he's not controlling the other end of the stick, neither am I, right? But as he goes to apply that foot lock, all I really need to do is keep moving my hips, see? And I'm eventually just gonna be on top of him, so he can't get any leverage. Meanwhile, I'm focused more on the grip here. Yeah, see? Even when I have a really good grip, you scoot your hips, I can't get it, okay? So that's not a game I advise you play. I'm just showing you that because it shows how important hip control is, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna teach the fundamental foot lock, the really old school one, which is the one David hit me with, okay? So with my grip, you see that little spot where his Achilles tendon meets his heel? That's really where I wanna be. And I'm gonna kinda catch it like that, so go to pull your foot out this way. Your heel is trapped and you can't pull your foot out that way, okay? And then just like with a guillotine or an overhook, I want my hand up high here. Some guys will lock this figure four grip, and this figure four grip is very powerful. You can look at Dean Lister and Hewin Gracie, other people who are good at foot locks. We use that figure four. But for now, I'm gonna keep it simple. So I'm thumb up, basically like a guillotine, and sometimes I might even make a fist here, okay? Now, assuming Liam's hips don't move, so you just stay there real slow, what I'm doing then is I'm pitching my elbow down to lock it in, like that, okay? And then I'm slowly laying back so that I'm pulling his toes back as I pull up here, and what I'm doing is I'm breaking an ankle here, okay? So again, I'm doing an external rotation with my arms, so my shoulders pull back, and my whole body, right? I'm leaning back, it's my whole core that's breaking Liam's foot. It's not me here like squeezing. Just like good jiu-jitsu, this part locks in, and it's your body that does the work. Now, having said all that, he's just gonna jump on top of me here because I don't have any control over his hips. So what do I do with my feet? And this isn't a foot lock I use very often because I'm tall, but that doesn't mean it's not solid. The simplest and easiest thing to do here is just put your feet on his body, okay? And the first thing he's gonna try and do is push it off to clear it, right? But assuming I get a good grip and he can't push it off, the other one's in his hip, I'm gonna extend with my feet, and it doesn't give him much time to do anything but tap, okay? Now that's not gonna be probably the most common one you're gonna do because you're not gonna probably hop into that one. It's a very classical old Japanese footlock. But it's still a good one to practice because it gives you the mechanics.